Oh, here we go. What's up, everybody? It's Friday, and I got a drink. I got 2 drinks. I got an energy drink. I got a daddy drink, and I forgot some. I was supposed to bring something. Let me call Michael. Oh, I told someone I was gonna give them a free ad here. Tonight we are talking culture of excellence. I got the playbook up. I got some of their what do you call it? Their vignettes is how you say that word. Where is it? Vignettes? Yeah. I got them pulled up. All right, thank you, son. Man, that dude's number one. You number one, son. That rhymes, doesn't it? All right, so first off, I got some Huya Navy socks on today because a brother there when we were picking up the kids, right? He like hollered at me as he was in his truck, and he was like, "Yo, come here." And I was like, he was in uniform. I was like, "Yeah, what's up, man?" And he handed me this pair of socks, Cabo Designs. Check it out. Let me see if that'll. Maybe I need to back it up. Maybe it's too bright. Where's it at? Boom, there she is. All right. Callus? I'm not sure how you say your name, brother, but there it is right there. All right. They got an Instagram. Let me go to the phone because I was texting them. So hook me up with some of these Navy socks. They just got like the anchors on them, got his business on it. And I said, hey man, you give me a follow and I'll give me a sub. Okay. Check out the content and I'll shout you out. And that's what I'm about here. Right? If you got something, y'all know my boy Jace, when he came on, he was doing his coffee thing, right? I was all about it. I'm reach one, teach one, help one. All right. So he's at K hyphen Bow Designs with a Z. So it's K hyphen BODESIGNZ.com. All right. And he said he had where did it go? I thought he had an Instagram. Yeah, his IG is Designs K Bow. So designs spelled normal, Designs K Bow. Check him out. Get some socks. He has some different rating ones on there. Shout out for him having the cross keys on there. All right, the greatest rate in the Navy. Okay, and so he had that. He had some ABH or ABE, one of them ones with the wings on there. One of them cats. Check him out, Cabo Designs. Thanks for the socks, brother. I appreciate it. Thanks for the sub. And right now, if you're joining us tonight, go ahead and leave me your favorite emoji in the comment section. All right, and if it's decipherable and not just something like we or something, then that's even funnier. All right, leave me a little something down there. First, before we get into it, we're going to talk culture of excellence today. I told you I got those vignettes pulled up. Okay, we're over on screen 2. We got this pulled up. Okay, this Huya, and we went over here, and I got these pulled up in the tabs. We're gonna look at some of those. We went over this a little bit last time. We might dig a little bit deeper depending on how much time we get going here. And just take a look at it and see what's what, and kind of I'm just a little jacked up today. Something's crooked over there. I can really see like crooked lines on things, and it really bugs me. Good, better, best practices. Yeah, we're getting into some things. But first up, I got my boy. He's about to call in. My boy B. He goes by codename B. Okay, is gonna call in right now, and he wants to talk some more. He was our caller last time, and when we were talking about retention, all right, and we got a retention one up here too. I'm already signed up. Check out this retention one. Navy offering big bucks to keep aviation officers in uniform. Okay, we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about some other retention, not just retention things, or I guess retention, yes.
Hello, Brad Marcus.
Okay, here we go. Oh, that might have.
Call from.
Easy.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
We'll accept him. Hello? Hello? You there? What happened? I'll call him back. Let me know what you're drinking tonight in the comments too. Hello.
You got me?
I got you. Brother B, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing fantastic. How about yourself?
I'm doing outstanding, thank you. I guess you're not drinking because it sounds like you're driving. So don't drink and drive.
That is correct. I'm staying hydrated. I got some high quality H2O.
That's good. So, bro, you wanted to call back in. I know you busy, so we're gonna jump right into it. You wanted to talk some more about retention. I got this article that we were talking about, or you sent to me about the Navy offering big bucks to keep aviation officers in uniform. Right. I even was on the Reddit just reading this, and someone had screenshot interaction with the PERS people. Don't know how real that is about some of the comments that PERS left on Facebook, which is people going wild in the comment section. But why don't you go ahead? Let's talk about what you want to talk about. In anything to do with retention, because like I said, we did the recruiting crisis, right? And we talked a bit about that. I think more just came out about that with COs, XOs, triads going to the command symposium, right, this week. And I think a lot of stuff came out of that. And go ahead.
So I talked to a couple of aviation friends. Both of them are pilots. They're both getting out. They're separating after their 10-year obligation. They're declining department head. Like you saw in that article, they're up in bonuses. I mean, to be an aviator, you're looking at, after taxes, I mean, still close to a couple $100,000.
Yeah, and it says $200,000 to serve as aviation department heads. Holy shit.
And if you look detailed into it, the ones that they're really trying to keep are, you think like Top Gun, right? Like, I need my fighter pilots. They're actually really hurting for rotary, so people that do helicopters,
yep.
and people that fly bigger aircraft like P-8, and then, the cargo aircraft, because those qualifications translate easier over to airlines. So that's why so many people are getting out, because, I mean, frankly, they can get similar paying jobs with I'm not saying it's not stress like flying for Southwest, but, it's less stress than having to worry is your kit package good to go, while you're also worrying, is this aircraft's maintenance up to date? And also, I got to maintain my currency. So a lot of pilots are getting out just because of all the extra BS, right? A lot of them said they love flying, but if that's all they had to do was fly and maybe manage like their aircraft maintenance, like no big deal. But it's all that extra bullshit that have in the military, that we've created. Once again, like I mentioned to you before, requirements, op tempo and requirements. Like, it's just not worth it to a lot of people anymore.
No, and this number here, the where it reads in this this Navy Times, if they say yes before they're actually even screened for department head, 280,000.
Yeah,
holy shit!
It's a pretty big number, and if you time that right, you can actually. It's not uncommon in their community to go TAD or TUI.
Yep.
To be like, hey, I need to go and do a site survey in Bahrain for the deployment next year. Cool, no problem. You can go to the Middle East where it's tax-free.
Yep.
Oh, I just happened to sign my department head contract while I was there. Now you just put $50K extra in your pocket.
Oh yeah.
It's a very common thing.
Yeah, that's in the NSW community as well. I seen that plenty of times while I was over there. That 280,000. That's a lot of money. It says a 7-year commitment, but they're checking out to $40,000 a year, right? Like that money changes lives.
It definitely can, and not to mention, I mean, think also where our aircraft are stationed. They're not usually stationed in the higher areas. I mean, yeah, we have San Diego, Jacksonville, and Hawaii. Those are higher cost areas for the Halos, but I mean, Lemoore, that's a lot of money in Lemoore, California.
Yes.
Oceana, that's a lot of money over there in Virginia Beach. So, Whidbey Island, that's a lot of money in Whidbey Island. So,
yeah, it is.
I want to
Go ahead.
I wanted to touch up too. I got some more updated info. Some of my numbers about the SWO guys a couple of weeks ago is a little dated. So for department head bonus, right? If you're a good SWO, you got all your quals done, you got your pin, your captain likes you because you're playing that game, and you're no personality conflicts. You can get $105,000 if you're a first round draft pick for department head.
105.
$105,000 48,000. If you're a last pick, say you're a turd, you know, it took you a while to get your eval. How you doing today? Good. Thank you. It took you a while to get your eval, you know, things like that. You know, you may get that bump down to high 70s. And then they created that mid-tier bonus when you're in 04. It usually kicks in. So it's essentially like a 1 year gap after your department head bonus. That's another 45,000 for 4 years. So it's like it got bumped up from, I think, 36,000, he said. Now it's 49. Not a small number again either. And then they added a new senior bonus. I was telling you for SWOs at your 17-year mark as a commander. That's $48,000. So you kind of swoop that all together. Hypothetically, let's say you're a early round department head. That's almost 200,000 as a SWO, non-nuclear. Yeah. And then currently the 10-year retention mark for SWO is 35%, non-nuclear. 35%. So 1 in 3 SWOs are getting out at their 10-year mark right now. And the answer the Navy has is, let's give them $45,000. And people are being like, "No, I'm good."
What is the answer, in your opinion, right? Not being a SWO, but you working closely with them, right? Your experience, you being around the community a lot more than me, right? Because you're on that side. What would you offer as a solution?
It's, to be honest with you, I don't think anyone has that answer yet, unless you just happen to have the right person that knew wholeheartedly what they were getting into when they joined the Navy as an ensign out of college. You know, those people are still out there, but it's pretty consistent. Once it comes down to family planning or self-care, they're just, you know, that tips the scale usually in the way to get out.
Yeah.
The only ones it seems like they're willing to hang around is if they're prior enlisted. So say they got 5, 6, 7, 10 years enlisted time, and then
they're already there. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's possible at that point where, like, oh, you know, I only have to do a department head ride, then I can retire. And O3E makes a lot more money than O3 regular.
Yeah.
O3E is damn near O4 pay. It's just a shade under. So, you know, it kind of it makes you suck it up. And because you also have a different realistic understanding. You know, you started out as an E1 swabbing the head and painting the side of the boat. So you got a different perspective.
Yeah.
But, I mean, this information is coming from a SWO post-05 command in the community.
Like they just wrapped up? They just wrapped up their 05 tour?
Yeah, a buddy of mine just wrapped up his 05 tour, and they're already poking at him and trying to feel out what he wants to do for major command tour, and he hasn't even screened yet because they're looking that far out, trying to filter talent. Like, this is in the keep pile. This is in the 20 he's done. Put him on a staff pile. Yeah. Like, they're trying to sense out like where we're going to put our talent. And that, I mean, that's fucking live, right?
What does one? Let him know if he wants to be a guest on the show, and I'd gladly host him, in person or call in via you know, whatever. But because I'd be more interested to pick his brain, especially that post command. About this and you know, several other things. He has a lot of experience and a lot of things we could talk about. But you know, it's interesting, you know, because post command, he's around 16 years, right? 17 years, somewhere around there.
17-ish, somewhere in there. So he said something specific to me that really is kind of drilled into them in their pipeline. Because for you that don't know, like, when you get picked up for command, it's like a 6 months of training to go and be an XO, and then you do like another couple months of training right before you take command just to touch up on some stuff.
Yep.
And you're drilled from day one. Your family is backseat now. You have 300 other families that are now the priority. And that's only going to work if, A, you're one of these rare guys or gals that's, you know, in 17 years and you're not married with no kids.
Yeah.
Or you have one hell of a strong spouse and support system and some understanding kids.
I don't think the kids understand at all. The kids don't give a fuck, right? I don't think the kids care. I think it's more on your spouse. 50% doesn't care, and 50% is probably not working. Like, you know, some people hate to say it, but let's just, all right, I'm just gonna go out there on a limb. And they're like, They're stay at home and they hold down the fort because you're an 05 and you make plenty of money. Just straight up, right? Like, you don't have to worry about putting food or paying bills because that's good pay. Again, I don't think it's enough. I'll beat the drum all the time about all military need to get paid more. But it's a lot easier when your spouse has nothing to worry about except home, children. You know what I mean? Like, if they don't have to go to work and a job, a profession, right? I get it. My mom was a stay-at-home mom, right? Like very traditional trad wife, as they call them nowadays, right? I grew up with that. I get that. Yes, it is work. They're doing things, okay? But we know what I'm talking about, right? If you fucking jump in the comments trying to say otherwise, like, save it. I'm gonna refresh here. But
I feel like the American dream of, you see, like, in, golden era 40s, 50s, 60s propaganda, where it's like one parent goes to work, one parent stays home, and we're living comfortable in the middle class. That's gone.
Yeah, it never will happen again.
Almost everybody I know, like, unless your spouse is like a true white collar professional, like a very successful investor or like a doctor or a dentist or a lawyer, like high end white collar.
Yes,
you're both working.
Yeah, yeah, like even my wife has a good job. I consider, I've talked about this, like, she's in a profession. My wife is a nurse. She's in a profession, right? There's like professions and then careers and then jobs and then gigs, right? Going top down. There's no way we could just live all, like, she makes way more than me. I say this all the time. I still got to work, especially for here living in San Diego, right?
Yeah.
Like, military, obviously, right, covers, BH and all that, but there's just no way, like going back to it, right? They're being successful commanders, right? They're being successful CEOs, mostly probably because I'd wager that somewhere early in the career, that wife made a decision that their career, whatever they were going to do or thought they were going to do, took a very far back seat of that bus that young J.O. was driving at the time. And they were fully bought in that they were going to be the captain of a ship one day, right?
And another piece he mentioned that, because it's really hard to get captain of a ship and you didn't move around. You had, it's part of the recipe what the boards are looking for. They want to see that, hey, this person paid their dues. They, moved around. They went to 3 different locations. The family's used to it, X, Y, and Z. So a lot of these bonuses help pay for those move costs. So let's be real. The military doesn't fully reimburse every dime when you move. Like, there's a lot of things they reimburse for. There's also a lot of tiny things that come with moving that they don't reimburse.
One of the ones I realized, I haven't moved in like 10 plus years. I'm about to move now. We've talked about that. We'll do that on another time. But like, things like spices, right? Like the flour, the oil, that stuff, when they're like, yeah, no, we can't take that food from here to there.
The hazmat cleaning.
Yeah. Yep. And you're trying to get rid of it. You're trying to use it. Like, you're cleaning everything, using everything, creating chemical bombs in there, And then when wherever you end up is like, hey, we got to go buy all that shit all over. That really does add up. And they, like you said, they really don't be paying you out enough for that. I know, because I just got my dislocation allowance. I'm going out there by myself, right? And it was only $2,200 for myself. And I've blown through that pretty quickly. My situation is a little specific with how I'm moving out there and stuff. So I'm paying big chunks of money for very specific things that I need to make my move out there, right? But $2,200 just for me to pack up and move myself, what does that really add up to, right? But anyways, yeah. So what else you got?
Yeah, I just wanted to touch up a little bit on the slow stuff. I'd love to jump. I sent you some of my notes on China, and I have a slight obsession on that, as you can see.
Yeah, I know you're busy. If we don't have time to get into that, let's arrange something where you either call in or, again, I'm on leave starting Monday for PCS. I'd love to have you over, brother. And even if it's earlier in the afternoon, I know your ass don't be working much where you're at.
We work.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And we can do it.
A lot of GMTs. I've been in long enough to know that there's a good correlation. If your command dings on 20 GMTs annually and you guys have your analysis every day, then more than likely it's the kind of command where there's not a lot going on.
That's absolutely true. Hold on one moment. You keep talking. I got my daughter here.
So some of the things I'll touch on just really quick about China is I know everyone's beating that drum, being worried about China, being prepared about China. We touched on the Davidson window last year, which means they're going to be prepared or motivated to go in 2027. I think that has a lot of big impact on readiness, on strategies, on plans. There's a huge thing that also a lot of people don't understand, and there was a different strategy in the previous administration of America's alone and unafraid. Well, that's not really good. We need our allies.
No.
Allies very, very, very strong. So I'm glad that a lot of allies are being, reminded that they're important, because we can't have all these bases and logistics and, friends like with us that they're very helpful. But everything, I can touch on a few things. Everything I'm going to say is all open source, a lot of different places. Even if you put it all together, it's fine. I highly recommend, I think I told you the page, one dude, his name is Peter Zion. He's a geopolitical strategist. This guy gets brought in by the government. Wall Street brings him in, different governments bring him in, allies bring him in, and the dude is the staff. They have a very unique way of intercepting and dissecting data into where it makes sense and a common joke, and understand like what's going on around the world, cause and effect. So I really would recommend people look into that. But
all right,
when it comes to some of the Achilles heels of China, like that civilization's been around for 5,000 years, and they have over exhausted all of their natural resources. Like their soil is virtually useless. They have to put so much fertilizer in it to raise food that they're entirely dependent on the global strategy that, ironically, the United States and the West created post World War II, where after World War II, we kind of took the front seat from the United Kingdom and Britain, like we're now the world leader. So we said, we're going to go full capitalist, full globalist, full trade, and we just want to have a navy that allows and allies that allows us to do free trade. Well, that set up a position where China and Southeast Asia could make a lot of money if we could get them away from the socialist model. And Mao Zedong, he did that socialist model, but they had a famine. People were dying by the millions. It was not working. Well, Nixon, that is when, originally post World War II, the United States government and our allies, we actually recognized the Republic of China, which is Taiwan. We recognized them diplomatically. Well, that all changed during the Nixon administration, where we're like, okay, like no to Taiwan. Let's see if we can put our arms around China and get them to go from socialist to capitalist, and it'll be better for everyone because they can make stuff, for the world really cheap. Well, they kind of did that, but they maintained like their socialistic kind of background. So they're kind of a social capitalist now. It's a weird term. I forgot, but
isn't that what like some politicians want us to be? Or social democratic?
Social democratic.
Yeah. I've heard that one before. Hey, sorry. Yeah. It's just okay.
No, you're good. So like all that together, right? And then you fast forward to the end of the wall falling at the end of the Cold War, and that really put gasoline on the fire, and China started making everyone's stuff, right? They became quote unquote like the world's warehouse manufacturing. So if you remember back in the early 90s, before that, everything at Walmart used to say like, made in Mexico or made in Indiana or whatever. Well, everything literally went to $1.96 and made in China.
Yeah.
Because they started making everything. And that's part of it. So in order to do all that, China had to import their food to grow their population. They got over 1 billion people. 80% of their food consumed domestically is imported. So they do not have enough food. They don't even have remotely enough food to feed their population. In fact, I think they've actually like export banned a lot of their food because they don't they need it to feed their people. Another big Achilles heel they have is their energy, right? So China has very little domestic energy. 60% of their liquid natural gas is imported. Most of it's coming from Siberia and Russia. I think there is a pipeline that's been recently opened between Russia and Siberia. It costs like $55 billion, but it took a hot minute to build. Like that would be a key target to make sure it didn't function. And, say you start shutting down all of their imports and their fossil fuel imports that come from the Middle East and even farther, right? There's ships right now, even though we did all the sanctions against Russia. So they've kind of loopholed. They just got a bunch of these super tankers that fill up in Russia. They go out to the edge of the Atlantic Ocean. They do a sea-to-sea transfer to a Chinese tanker, and then that Chinese tankers will import all the way from the Eastern Atlantic all the way around through the Suez, through the Middle East, through the Strait of Malacca, up to the South China Sea to China, right? And that's how they're kind of circumvented. Like, I didn't get this gas or this fuel from Russia direct. I got it in international waters. So, there's multiple ways we know that China's getting their energy that we could turn off pretty easily. That's another big problem they're going to have. They only have 6 to 12 months of stock of energy and food. So if we can turn that faucet off pretty quick, they're going to be hurting really bad, famine and energy wise, probably within about 6 to 12 months. They also had a really strong policy. A lot of people know about it for like 40 years. It's called the one-child policy.
Yeah.
Only every family can only have one child. Well, the natural tendency in their culture is, we only want boys because they can kind of like work and carry on the family name and have that bravado and that male masculinity and all that stuff. And that's cool. But the problem is boys don't make children. They're only one part of that equation.
Yeah. So we do make children, but
yeah. So a dude by himself can't make a child, regardless of current political thoughts in this country that we have now. It doesn't work in science. So there's literally a coined term in China called the missing women of China. There's literally tens of millions of women in those generations that aren't there. I mean, I don't know the exact number, but I think it's something crazy. Like it's like 20-1 dudes to girls. Like that's not good odds to replenish a generation. Another big piece is a lot of their Chinese population is seniors. 25% of their population in 2030 is going to be over the age of 60. Think about the amount of people and staff it's going to take care of that elderly. They're going to have to pick: do we continue running our shops and building fine goods and making things, or do we take care of the elderly? That's going to be a serious policy problem. And China is the kind of country where they'd be like, well, once you're too old and you can't work, we're going to let you have 5 or 10 years. And then after that, we'll let you self-terminate or some other kind of crazy term to where we're just going to write you off. I don't know what it's going to be called. I genuinely think that's an option that's going to have to be for them to maintain their economy and their younger generations. And then another thing, in 2023, the Chinese government, which they never announced anything, right? Ever. They came out and said that their government miscounted their population by over 300 million people. Think about that.
That's a whole America, isn't it? That's like a whole America.
America is like 330, 350, depending on documented and undocumented counts. But I mean, like it's mid 300s. China's like, my bad, bro. We were off by 300 million, but we're good now because of the way they counted, right? Like they counted based on how many kids show up for preschool and kindergarten. Well, local government officials realized like we can scam the feds if we overindulge how many kids show up for kindergarten.
Yeah.
Well, China, the federal government's like, cool, you got 100 for kindergarten? Dope. I'm going to send you money for 100.
Someone wasn't double checking that muster report. They didn't double check the muster report.
Double checking that report, right? And then for literally decades, nobody was double checking, and it wasn't 100. It was like 40. And nobody cared. And then the local officials were just pocketing that money. Like, all right, these 40 are good, but we know that other 60, we got that money. That's for us. And they did that for years. Nobody caught on. So now there are literally another term, the missing millions. You can even say the missing hundreds of millions. And this is just what they're telling us. China is not known for like transparency and truth and open kimonos. So who knows how bad that really is?
I think kimonos are Japanese, aren't they?
They are, but it's a good term. But like, and another problem like with modern society is fertility rates. Like in the United States, our fertility rate right now is like 1.6, and in the West, it's kind of expected. You need like a 2.2, 2.4. So for those that don't know, that means the average birth rate per woman in the United States needs to be 2 point whatever. And I get it, right? You can't round a kid.
Yeah.
But it's just the way the math breaks. What they're saying is every woman in America needs to have at least 2 children because let's face it.
But like, that's not happening either.
It's not happening either. Their fertility rate in China is 1.2 because it's such a great place to live. So they are not even maintaining the birth rates now to even sustain what they have, much less replenish. And that's a big problem. And like I said, it's going to, the current problem now is their current workforces are aging. And then you kick the can down to the 20, 40, 50, 60 time frame. Those people are going to be croaked. And there's not enough babies now that are going to be in their 20s to 40s to 50s in the workforce generations to maintain that GDP and economy that they're already doing. This makes them one of the 7 fastest aging societies in history because they grew so fast, but that same spike is going to drop off like a cliff. In 2020, their birth numbers were only 12 million. That's a sharp dip from 2017 and since 1949.
So then why are they considering the 2027, right?
Yeah.
And why are we worried about it? Is it because it's still a viable threat? Like despite everything you said, right? And I'll take it for a fact because you look into it more than I do. Okay, but so what if there's easy targets like that we could turn off? Like what is our worry about it?
I think the main worry is just because our job is to worry. Like we're not in the nature of a business where someone goes, "Hey, we got a problem," and we don't have a plan.
Okay. That's fair.
And let's face it, another big piece too. Like we're America, we're always in someone else's shit. Like when are we ever at peace? I mean, think about it. Like you got the Revolutionary War, you got the War of 1812, and we're gonna
maybe like 10 years,
blown up.
10 years here or there, maybe.
I mean, you had World War I. You had a little bit of peace for a while, and then we had World War II, really bad. And then that literally rolled right into Korea. A lot of people forget about that. We lost a lot of people in Korea. That rolled straight into Vietnam. Then we had a little bit of chill time. And then in the 80s, we had Panama, Grenada, and the FARC and the war on drugs and all that, which we're still. And the war on drugs, which we're still fighting, which means I think we lost because it's like 40 years long and we're still losing. And, that rolled into Desert Storm, and then we had the 90s were peace, and then boom, we had GWAT.
I mean, even the 90s weren't really peace, right? Because you go with Desert Storm, and then there in the late 90s, you still had the Kosovo stuff, which it's a lot of conflicts that were involved.
Yeah, the Balkans and all that stuff. That was conflict, but it was regional. It wasn't world based. The worry with China is no shit. If that happens, that is going to impact almost every human on the planet in one way or another. You're not getting your TVs for $200 anymore that were made in Taiwan.
Yeah,
it's not happening. I can guarantee you, Gary and his plant that's working with the plant in Mexico or Vietnam is not getting you that TV for $200.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I think China is the thing because right now we're playing a slow the clock game, right? Our job is to rally allies, align manufacturing to push it back regional instead of global. At the same time, the more we do that, the more we buy time and space. And we're trying to, because I think China knows that it's kind of like Russia, right? Russia knew that their end game was coming soon. So they're in a YOLO moment. They had to act or they're gonna start retracting and shrinking from being super powerful and influential.
So
I think that's what China's trying to do now.
Okay. Oh, so It is that we are about to hit our peak. We have to do something now. But again, like, why would the choice be war? Like that's what I don't understand, I guess, right? In my small little pea brain, is
Because
why is the
Taiwan,
choice? Hey, you know what?
because
This fucking
Taiwan
country
doesn't
that
want it.
yeah, like
Yeah,
fuck Taiwan.
Taiwan doesn't
Let
want to
Taiwan
join
be
it.
fucking Taiwan. Like pick something else
No,
to be great. Why are you picking? Hey, let's go fuck with Taiwan so we can have a war. Why is that the choice?
I really don't understand it either, to be frank, because let's say, like, hypothetically, like, we have a reason. Our end goal is we want to have the high end chips in we want our high end chips in Taiwan. We want to own that business so then we can have influence over every powerful country in the world. I'm here to tell you right now, if you think that Taiwan is not going to have all their manufacturing hubs lined up with as much C4 as possible if they go into war, and they're going to blow the shit out of all that stuff.
Yeah,
If
just so they
even
can't get it.
remotely gets close to, just so they can't get it, right? And
Yep.
even hypothetically, if they got it, like, they don't have the ability to operate that stuff. Like, I would genuinely argue that there's probably people in the United States that wouldn't know how to operate those fabs of those super small nanometer chips. Like, there's a reason that, and it's called, this exact reason, it's called the silicon shield. Like, that's why during the CHIPS Act a couple of years ago, when we gave billions of dollars to build all these fabs, and if you don't know what a fab is, it's the facility that makes these nano chips, these high-end
We're
chips
building
that we
them
use.
here now, right? I think there's
Right,
some
they're
over in
gonna build one
Arizona that
there,
are being built.
Arizona
Yeah.
and Ohio, and I think there's another one. But these things take like 5 years to build and tens of billions of dollars.
Yeah.
But after they announced that deal, I believe the Taiwanese government was like, hey, if we start exporting our number one defense thing, then no one's going to protect us anymore. So they kind of had to go back and backtrack. And long story short, like, Taiwan's going to maintain the super latest and greatest generation of chips. All the other mid-grade chips, they're going to start, manufacturing over here, just so, it's safer. And, whatever. We all have our reasons to maintain our rice bowls and be safe.
Yeah.
But I think, honestly, China they just really want Taiwan, like, for whatever reason, dude. What a gangs fight for wars in the streets for decades to own that one corner, right? I mean, I guess they want that one corner of the first island chain, because if they do that, they have a lot more reach and power over Philippines and South China Sea, and they really want that South China Sea because it's full of natural gas and it's full of fish. That's why they want it, and they want to be able to have influence over all those countries down there. So, I think that's my best guess. I'm not Chinese, and I've been to China. I've been on a PLAN warship, but I've never, asked a Chinese person, like, hey man, for real talk, like, why y'all want Taiwan so bad? Not that I think he'd tell me.
Well, I mean, I got a Chinese friend that's on the ship. It's interesting, right? As I talk to him, and kind of like America, very similar. When I'm like, hey man, like, I just ask him just kind of random questions about things I'll read, and he'll be like, bro, like, nobody, like, your general, like, me, the me version over there, right? The middle class, the lower class, the person just going to work and trying to pay the bills, right? And, different life over there, but that version of me over there is like, they don't care about all this political shit. And he tells me, he's like, they're just like you and me, man. We're just trying to fucking go home and just spend time with the family and just be happy. It's the politics. It's the I forget, where's their fucking capital at? Not Beijing. Is it
Shanghai?
Shanghai, yeah. Because I say Beijing, it just got
Beijing is
like,
their capital, but Shanghai is a major business.
Oh, well, then it would be Beijing. I thought, or okay, Beijing. I'm thinking Hong Kong, because Hong Kong is what just got given back to them, in the 90s.
I think Hong Kong combined out with the war in Ukraine are two big indicators on how Taiwan's going to play this. Because
Taiwan or China?
Taiwan.
So what do you mean?
Because I think China revealed what they're going to do. Remember, when the British turned Hong Kong, when that contract ended and they
Yeah.
turned it back over to China, China's like, it's all good, bro. Like, we know it's kind of Western, two territories, two different systems. It's all going to be good. That shit didn't last more than like a year. They're already locking it down.
Yeah.
They started invading the courts. They started turning it over to Chinese control. And Taiwan watched all that, all the protests and everything. So Taiwan's like, okay, cool. So we definitely are not negotiating like you're going to let us be over here. Like, fuck that. You already see what we were going to do. And now they're watching what's going on in Ukraine, and I think they're going to be like, we don't need all those F-35s and F-16s. We need a lot of guerrilla warfare and artillery and over-the-horizon strike weapons and that kind of stuff. And they also saw the world allied and stood up against. Think about it. I think the war in Ukraine would be going substantially different if NATO didn't rally and the United States didn't rally and put everybody together in one basket, like in solidarity. I think Ukraine probably would have folded in that first year.
Yeah.
Because they wouldn't have support.
Well, I mean, we America is at war on two fronts. I don't give a fuck what you believe or what you want to think, right? We are fighting two wars, maybe not with our personnel, but with our taxes and with our supplies. We're fighting two wars right now.
It's funny you said that. It's a good thing. I hope people understand, right? When you say you're going to give a country a $76 billion aid package, you're not Venmoing them $76 billion. It's not like, hey, dude, like friends and family, good luck. It's like
it should be in your PayPal. You sure you didn't get it?
We're going to give you $6 billion in cash to maintain your economy and pay your payroll and your government, but we're going to buy $70 billion worth of American weapons.
Yeah,
that's $70 billion that goes back in our economy, and we're going to pay all these defense industries. Fun fact, I hate to be the spoiler, but war makes a lot of people money.
Oh, yeah.
So if you don't know that, like, get smart.
Yeah.
And that's $70 billion going back in the economy. So we're going to buy all these bombs and planes and ammo and weapons, and then we're going to ship them over there. So maybe like $1 billion in transportation costs. So, I mean, I wish politicians, they'd save a lot of BS in the media if they would literally take like an extra 30 seconds and explain where that money's going. Not just being like, YOLO, it's going to Ukraine.
Yeah, I think we definitely have a better understanding, but I think it wouldn't make me feel any better. Like, fuck them still. Like, I'm not
saying I feel better about it, but at least we're kind of putting money, and we're taking money out of the left pocket to put it in the right pocket. It's not like you're taking money out of the left pocket to give it away to a stranger.
Yeah. I mean, I don't disagree with the fact that it's where it's going. I don't like that it's going there still in support of something that I frankly don't fucking care about. And that's on both. That's on both of the wars that are going on overseas right now. I don't fucking care. That's their problem. They can fucking figure it out. Ally or not, like it always screams to me like, you wouldn't pick a fight, or maybe someone picked a fight with you, but you're not fucking, your balls ain't big enough, don't hang. Well, I guess it's Ukraine, balls aren't big enough to fucking hang with it and go fight that battle. Israel, on the other hand, they can do it all themselves, but they can do it themselves because we've already sold them everything they need to fucking do. Like, they already have all of it that they need to go do it with, but we continue to fucking do it. Yeah, you're gonna get me on some shit.
The only reason if we're going to support them, let's just do it all the way. Let's stop being like, I'm going to give you enough to last till this year. Good luck. Like, give them enough to crush it and win, and let's be done with this shit and move on, or don't give them a damn thing. Let's stop.
I feel like that. Here, this was crazy. Since you want to bring this up, you can get me going on it. All right. I feel like that way towards Ukraine, right? Let's do it and get Russia the fuck out of there, and they feel like, okay, we've lost, we have no other option, but there's plenty of reports out there that say that they tried to set up peace deals and get this done like 2 years ago, and then we told people, the American government told people, and other governments said no, let's not do that. Okay, so either we need to do that there. On the Israel front, I don't feel the same way. Like, I got my own reasons and stuff, but like, I don't know. It's weird out there. I wish that we weren't involved in it at all, monetarily, supplies wise. Knowing that we have this thing of China on the horizon, I would rather pull everything back. Like, this is me with my magic wand, and you can tell me what you do with yours. Okay. I would pull everything back right now and just be like, fucking, if everything goes to hell, cool. We'll be back in like, what, 3 years? We'll be back in 3 years to squash it. But everyone out there, you need to get your Navy out there, especially Navy, right? We're Navy centric here, okay? You go patrol the waters. You go keep maritime security. We're pulling our shit back for 3 years. And like, I would have no deployments, minimize, very, very minimize, especially maybe like minimize as much as I could, like none, as close to zero as we can get. And I would just, I'd have to magic wand fucking shipyards to build ships. Shipyards to maintenance them. And we would just go into a 3 year like overhaul of everything. And I'd want to plus our numbers up, like plus 100 ships that do not have the letters LCS in them. Okay. And get everything maintained and ready to fight again, you know? And then when we redeployed in 3 years, it would be, you know, at 100%.
I kind of like that magic wand deal. I would just change it a little bit. The main thing I would change is I would say maintain because you understand the optimized fleet response plan, our cycle of life.
Yeah.
I would say maintain that first deployment because you need that experience to kind of stay a little sharp and also to qualify and train new people. And pass down that talent because let's face it, you don't learn everything correctly in school. You just need to learn by people who've been doing it a little longer.
Yeah, for sure.
But when that ship is in sustainment for a year and a half, fucking leave it in sustainment.
Yeah.
Let it focus on readiness. Let it focus on work-life balance. Let that be an avenue. I'm not saying tie it to the pier and don't let it move, but don't sign it up to be underway for 13 months out of 18 doing random fucking things because some 06 on a joint staff somewhere got the right quad slide in front of the 1-star, and now he has that ship's crew sailing for 7 weeks just for presence operations because now he feels better. Like, come on.
No, yeah.
And that's genuinely how it happens.
Yeah, and I feel like it doesn't have to be a tied to the pier thing, right? Definitely like, you know, local ops training, proficiencies, things like that. But, you know, we need to get every ship in the yard for 18 months and get them 100%, right? Because like I said, that Davidson window that you mentioned, that 2027, it's going to happen. And I don't think, and I've said this before, I talked to sailors about this a lot, really, right? We've not experienced this warfare since World War II. Right. I've not experienced it. I don't know what's going to fucking happen, but I look at history. Right. And, I was just talking to sailors about this today as I was checking out of the Fort Worth that I was TAD to for the last month. Right. And I'm big on it because like it's what I've trained for my whole career. Right. And we're losing sight of it. You could read it all over these bullshit, and we're going to go over some of this once you're done and you got to go, right? The culture of excellence stuff and the war fighting and blah, 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 right? You say war fighting, but you don't fucking mean war fighting, okay? Because nothing we're doing, all these programs, this culture of excellence, none of this is actually speaking to war fighting for what is about to happen. And these sailors, myself included, okay? I'm still here. We are not ready for it because we think that we got to do the fucking volunteer work. We still think that, oh, no. I joined because I want to go to college. Wrong fucking place to go to college. You should have went to college because what you're going to go to is war during your 5-year contract because it's kicking off. Like there's a timeline. There's a daytime group on it of when this is supposed to happen. You should just be praying and crossing your fingers that it doesn't. And I am. I don't want it to happen. And when it does happen, it's going to be tonight we lost 3 U.S. Navy ships. The USS, you know, XYZ. You know, so many souls lost at sea, so many missing, 30 rescued. Our prayers are with them tonight. That's my best rendition of the fucking, 6 o'clock news.
I'm going to be realistic. I'd say best case scenario, you lose like one carrier strike group in the beginning because we're going to have to lose something to figure out what we're bad at so we learn what not to do. I mean, think about that. That's probably like 7 to 9,000 people to be lost in a day.
Like that.
We didn't lose that many people in both wars in the Middle East for 20 years.
It's gonna blow people's minds.
Yeah, if this jumps off, that's why they're doing everything. And when I say they, I mean other departments of the government. They're doing everything they can to build allies and networks and diplomatic solutions and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
To hope this shit never happens. And bottom line, it's going to come down to one man. You know, all this shit's literally going to come down to one man. One dude.
Who's that? Jinping? Jinping? Jinping?
Xi Jinping.
Xi
Jinping.
Yeah.
That's why I really couldn't answer your question when you asked me earlier, like, why take Taiwan? Ask Xi.
Yeah.
Xi has created an environment in his government where he gets no news. Zero. Because it's not like, hey, don't bring him bad news. Hey, don't bring him good news. Nobody knows what he's thinking. He's killed and had so many people disappeared that everybody's just scared to death to bring him anything. One of the best examples is one of the dumbest things in recent military history, which was that stupid fucking spy balloon. Like, you remember that? Like,
yeah, they said like he didn't even know that was going on.
Xi Jinping had no clue that was happening. No clue. Until that thing got shot down and he was at a summit somewhere and somebody asked him, like, hey, bro, like, how'd you get that happen? He's like,
it's like the guy tapping him on the shoulder with a cell phone and like, excuse me, President, we got President Biden on the phone for you. And he's probably cursing his ass off in fucking Chinese, Mandarin or whatever he speaks. Yeah. You know, I'm just gonna say Chinese, okay? And just going off about what the fuck. That's comedy.
So this is how the intelligence world knew this. It could validate. They suspected this for years, but it validated a couple years ago when Biden and Xi met. And China, remember I told you, they're hurting for energy, right? So they do the same thing San Diego does in the summertime. We do rolling blackouts. So we can spread, 80% of power across 100% of the grid. And they were doing rolling blackouts around China, and we could see them from space. It's not like we got Jason Bourne running around taking pictures of the town going dark. Like, you can see this shit from space. It's not hard. Biden's like, hey, to Xi, he's like, hey, man, I saw you guys are doing rolling blackouts and energy things. Like, that's unfortunate. Like, if there's anything I can do, let me know. This was news to Xi Jinping that he was doing rolling blackouts in his country. He had no clue. And I'm going to venture that none of us really think President Biden is the source of breaking news. Like, I just don't, that's not what I think of when I think of the commander-in-chief, and he's a commander-in-chief, not making fun of him or anything, but I don't see him as the one breaking news. Can you just imagine the senior official for China, like in behind the stage, like, oh fuck, I'm dead.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
My wheels up, dude. But yeah, that stupid fucking spy balloon, like someone in the community, yeah, they'll never see this one coming. It was the size of a jet hanging by a balloon, cruising along at like 12 miles an hour. And initially, everybody was like, shoot it down. But obviously, that one super nerded dude that probably still has like a pocket square in his pocket and his slide rule next to it. And he's been waiting for 30 years in the basements of the Pentagon for this exact moment. And he's like, don't shoot it down. I have a perfect plan. We're going to send in all these spy helicopters and spy airplanes, and we're going to circle this thing for 6 days, and we're going to collect we've never collected on anything in the intelligence world.
But like, and we'll never know, right? And I don't think maybe there's something, but like, what the fuck are you going to collect? Well, what is there to collect?
How can I say this? You can collect. So they knew that balloon was transmitting, and now you can figure out where's it going, how's it operated, how's it encrypted, is it encrypted?
So it's like SIGINT stuff.
Where's it going? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But, all right. My time is up. I hope to chat with you soon.
Yep.
And have a good one, buddy.
All right. Thanks, UB. Appreciate it for calling in, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Holler.
All right. That was Brother B. And that was good talk. That was good talk. That was a lot of good China talk. Some retention there early, and then a lot of China talk. Appreciate him calling in and tuning in. It's always good conversation to talk that stuff. I really like I'm a huge politics fan, which means I like to follow it and know what people, what kind of bullshit they're saying and trying to what smoke they're trying to blow up my ass, right? So big fan of that. Let's hit you with the meme. Let me know. Let me know what you think about this one here, right? Here's a good meme. The pick a button to push. Pick at least 7 billets. If you leave any blank, you show the detailer that you're fine going anywhere. If you don't want to go there, you shouldn't have picked this shit, mate. Ooh, me, who remembers when it was just 5 picks when we had CMSID. Abso-fucking-lutely, people. This was me in November. First look, getting fucked into the San Antonio billet here, right? So fuck that guy, okay? Straight up. Like, this if you didn't want to go there, you shouldn't have picked this shit, mate. Well, why you want to stay in San Diego so bad? I mean, there's other places. Yeah, my family's here. We own a home. The wife has a job here. His words to me were, well, we all got families. You fucking kidding me? That's your fucking answer, Chief? That's your answer to any fucking service member out there? Oh, we all got families. That's like, fuck you and your family. Yeah, so straight up, fuck that guy. Thanks for tuning in. I hope he watches this. Fuck him. Hey, Chad, what's up, Chad? Chad's been leaving comments all night long. Chad, thanks for tuning in, brother. Brother B is, he's a beast, man. He knows a lot about that shit. And it's a pleasure talking to him about it. Back to the meme. Fuck my Navy assignment. Fuck them detailers too. I've not had a good detailer in the last 10 years since putting on first class and detailing, right? Is it their fault? Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just the system. Maybe it's a systemic problem. All right, maybe not. Maybe they're dickheads. Nareen Culuture War. That was my first detailer that tried to fuck me and Nikki over. That was when Nikki, I've shared this story before. Nareen Culuture War was the first one that was like, hey, too bad. Your wife's on shore duty. You got to go back to sea. And I was like, I'm already at sea. I'm on my second. I'm on back-to-back sea. And he's like, well, good luck picking shore duty. You're not going to get it. So fuck that guy too. Nareen Culuture War. Fuck him. Bad guy says, nice shirt. Thank you. This is Lakeside Bar and Grill. Or, yeah, bar and grill. I'd show you the back. I don't think I can. They didn't have the size in the one I really wanted. The one I really wanted had an anchor on it, and I wanted to be hoo-yah about it. It was a cool anchor, though. And this is actually a restaurant that my sister-in-law manages. A few of the restaurants that she manages for a private owner guy there in the Phoenix area. So if you're ever in Phoenix, in the North Peoria area, that's where the rich people live, there in Peoria. Not where I lived. Check out Lakeside Bar and Grill. If the manager's there, Janet, tell her I sent you, and she will make sure that your bill comes out accurately. All right, Chad. No, Chad, please keep commenting. Yeah, your comments might be 2 minutes behind, brother, but that's because there's a installed delay in the system. It's supposed to be like that, okay? And the comments help drive the content, right? So please keep commenting away. All right, let's get on to some of this other stuff. I got some. This might be funny. I don't know how this is gonna go. I think it'll go good though. Let's go over here to camera 2. All right. We got the culture of excellence, right? I wanted to bring this up because I was at work. I was trying to do my checkout. My eval's not ready. My end of tour is not ready. I don't think I got an end of tour because I did not submit one for myself. I refused to. And that's based on principalities of the matter, okay? I'm not a person, one, I don't give a shit about an award, okay? I have enough ribbons. I have enough medals. I have enough awards. I don't want to have to redo it because I'm kind of person that if you give me more, I need to update it and fix it and correct it because I don't like to be wrong. I'll be wrong for one tour, but then at the end of that tour, checking into the new command, I will fix my shit, correct it, so I check in with everything that I have earned, right? But when I see people at commands receiving awards, not that they didn't earn them, maybe they did, but when let's say it like this, let's say it like it is. When ISIC has put out clear guidance on who they're going to award what level of award to, okay, meaning, hey, comms are going to these people in these positions only, NAMs for everybody else at the command level, right? And then commands circumvent those rules and submit comms, those are Navy Commendation medals, for certain individuals, whether they truly believe that they've earned it or not, right? That's besides the point. The point is that you've circumvented the rules. That's the point. Then I no longer believe that I warrant that same award. One, I don't think I warrant it at all anyways. Two, you don't do what's right. All right. So if you don't do what's right, I don't want a part of it. Okay. I don't want a part of it. So I did not write myself a comm. I did not ask anyone to write myself a comm. Didn't care for it. Don't fucking care. Right. That's like, that's about as humble as you're going to hear me get. Okay. Awards absolutely mean fucking shit. Okay. They're not going to put a star on my anchor. I'm not taking a test. I don't need the point. I don't need none of that shit. Okay. All my sailors got awards while I was there, and that's what matters to me. And so I didn't do that. But my end of tour fucking eval wasn't ready. They're still working on it, making the last chops or whatever. I had some spicy shit on there. I was like, I had this one line, opening line, bottom line, right? This is where you're not gonna hear my, the best chief on board for 3 years. Book it. That's what I had on there. And then I had my kiss goodbye. I forgot. Kiss goodbye was absolute horseshit. I ain't gonna lie to you. If you know chief evals, right, then you know what I'm talking about, or military evals in the Navy, you know what I'm talking about. My kiss goodbye was like, do not pass him over again. Give him his star now and put him on the path to CMC. Everybody knows I'm not fucking going CMC, right? I'm not going CMC. I'm not doing anything but fucking retiring after San Antonio, right? So it was all fucking just all hoo-yah, right? Just to sound good. Just because I can. Because why? What are they going to do? Change it? Cool. I'm going to sign it anyways, and then I'm going to move on. Gas Hauler 127 says, give the PO3 a Legion of Merit. I don't even think you can. Gas Hauler, thanks for chiming in. Your Legion of Merit is in routing. All right. I'm sure it'll be viewed soon. Tell me who even signs off on Legion of Merit? ISIC or the next level, first flag? Hey, let me know. Gas Hauler, let me know, and then write your own Legion of Merit there, Haas. Okay? Fucking Legion. Nah, I think Legion of Merit. No, not even Legion of Merit. What do CMCs get? I just had an acquaintance that just PCS at CMC from somewhere, and they were awarded. I think it was meritorious service, not even Legion of Merit, but that's a good one. Oh, speaking of awards, let's stay on this. All right, I'm interested in the USS Carney just returned home from deployment. Okay, and the CNO was there. The Carney, I talked about this before. The Carney absolutely fucking got after it on their fucking Fifth Fleet deployment there in the Red Sea, in the Gulf area. They have something like 40-ish, 45 confirmed fucking kills, if you will, I guess. I think that's the term they're using. They shot down like 45 different drones, missiles, all kinds of shit, right? The Carney absolutely fucking like ship of the year crushed it out there. All right, for 2023, okay? Probably some of 2024 also. Maybe they're just making their way back. Absolutely crushed it, okay? Like, I cannot... Fucking amazing job that the USS Carney did. Everything that I wish I could have experienced in my naval career, I've never launched Tomahawks. I've never launched anything. Never shot anything outside of a fucking gun range, okay? The Carney, stellar performance. I hope all those sailors are proud of themselves. Another friend of mine, their ship, the Thomas Hudner, they returned from deployment, and their CO was awarded a very prestigious medal. I talked about this a little bit already. CO award. Let's see if I find it here. I think, which again, not undeserving. Okay, I'm not saying it's not undeserving. Nope, that's not it. But it's those things where here we go. Yeah, that's it. They just got home from deployment. Let me see if it says it. Oh yeah, okay. So the CEO of the Thomas Hudner, for their actions, they shot down some stuff too. Okay. Was presented the Bronze Star Medal. Bronze Star for their actions. I do not know the write-up. I've not read it. Okay. Bronze Star for them. Now, my question is, for the USS Carney, okay, visit free. Right, so Carney just gets home. They were out there forever. CNO was there, fucking welcoming him back. It's all cool. They got it all over their Instagram. Yo, shout out to my PAL homie. I don't know if you've actually gone through to them, but their Instagram shit and the McPon and CNO have definitely leveled up. Okay, like they're doing a lot more real on the deck play with the phone footage, like content, and it looks good, right? It could be revised a little bit, but revised. I don't mean edited. I just mean better moments could be posted, right? But yeah. All right, Chad. Let's add Chad here. Truth. If you are trying to get your sailors paid for their work, yes, awards. But I'm not a fan of writing your own reward. Award. Yes. I'm not a fan of it when you're writing it for like the comm level and above, right? If you're a LCPO, DLCPO, that's your department head that should be writing that for you. Right? Me in my particular situation as the department head, DLCPO, and every other fucking khaki in a chain of command that you could fucking make up or want to believe in, right? I shouldn't have to write my own. That's a CMC writing it, or another department head, or the XOCO tasking one of those other department heads to be like, hey, look, you're going to write that person's award for them, right? Because they shouldn't have to write theirs. Okay. Gas hauler, what you said. So Legion of Merits are for 06 and above. So this is the thing. Here's the question. Why, gas hauler? Why is it for 06 and above? What I have to look it up. Maybe I will. Okay. Legion of Merit is awarded due to this, and this. Why are 06 and above the only ones that, unless you're special warfare probably, that can earn that can meet those criteriums, right? Criteriums, I don't even think a word. I'm just making shit up. I'm running on E over here too. So let's look at the Carney here, because I want to get back to this, right? So Thomas Hunter CO awarded Bronze Star. There's no fanfare at all about what was awarded to the Carney. Why not? The Thomas Hunter, and maybe just because I knew someone on there that had posted information about it, right? But what? Why not? I have a question, I have a inkling of a feeling, right? The CO of the Thomas Hunter, great CO apparently, right? Again, I know someone that worked on that ship. They have nothing but good things to say. She was awarded the Bronze Star. There's no information on what the awards of, let's see if their Facebook has it, of what the USS Carney has been awarded, right? A Bronze Star? That's fucking up there, right? That is way up there. So what did the CO of the USS Carney get? What were they awarded? They have way more fucking engagements. Their deployment, I think, was maybe longer. I don't know, same amount of time. Way more engagements. So somebody tell me. If you know anyone on the Carney, reach out. Let me know. I'm just curious. What if they have 40 something engagements and fucking kills, takeouts, knockdowns, whatever? I would think that they'd get a Bronze Star too, at least, right? At least. So, again, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe they didn't. Maybe they just didn't check all the boxes of a Bronze Star. All right, let's we've been going a little bit over an hour. Okay. So here, let's get in this culture of excellence. We talked a little bit about it last week. Like I said, back to it. I was checking out, and the SEL was saying that they attended the Commander Symposium, and this was what they're all about here: culture of excellence. And we have the playbook over here. You can do the placemat. Wow, we got the placemat, right? I'm sorry. It's just funny to me. Again, because it's just like I was talking to Brother B. Like, why do we need a placemat like this to build warfighters? What does that mean? Okay, why? How does this make a warfighter? And maybe my definition of warfighter and what I think is just a little bit different from what the brass that be want our warfighters to look like. I don't know. So you got core values, warrior toughness, great people, great leaders, great teams. Accountable to yourself and your team. Honor, courage, commitment. All right, cool. This is kind of normal stuff. Excuse me. I'm going to hit that little boost up there. Preparation, warrior toughness, preparation, strengthening your mind, body, and spirit. That's a very popular thing going around. The mind, body, spirit, right? I've seen different people on my previous command talk about it. They have it written out on their board. Some of them, I think it means a little bit more, right? Knowing them, knowing that they have a belief in faith, right? So the spirit it means a little bit more to them, I'd say. But I think with a lot of other people that don't have faith in whatever higher being they choose, it means nothing. Okay, to the spirit, it means nothing. Train the real, and that leads me to another thing, right? I really want to talk to a chaplain on here. If you know one that's pretty free spirited, tell them get in touch with me. I'm not going to say what I want to talk to them about on here. It's kind of faith-based stuff, faith-based leadership and stuff like that. But I'm interested. So if you know one, connect me. Be the example of what's right. Execution, reflection, mind, body, spirit. Here we go. So like if you go from preparation is mind, body, spirit, and then great people, then you have your mind, body, and spirit. All right. Connect with something greater. So that again, that I'm gonna jump to spirit here. Does that mean that they want you to connect with God? Right? Are they pushing a God, a higher being relationship to the sailors? What like, because that's what I get from it, right? As a non-baptized Christian, but practicing, and we all know that's where my kids go, and we believe and we pray every night. And is that what they want us to connect with? So, but how can, like, when we know like the level of faith in America across society, right, has diminished drastically, then how can you put this in there and expect people to connect with something greater? There's going to be no connection with nothing. They're fucking, and maybe that's why we have so many like mental health issues and things like that, because there isn't that prayer that they do alone or in a small prayer group or whatever. And they're just left out there alone. And they're like, yeah, I'm alone. It's all me by myself and I have to handle everything. And boom, I'm fucking, stressed to the max. Sustain a sense of purpose, live your personal values. But if we're living our personal values, here's where I'll get you fucked up. If we're living our personal values and they're not the Navy core values, then don't we have a conflict there? Let's get back to it. Right there, right? Live your personal values. This is something I tell people every time right now when I check in or check out. My value and honor, courage, commitment, those are good values. And I've said this before. I don't think those are the Navy's core values anymore. They have it on there. They have it on paper. Sounds good. Looks good. Right? Those, it's not true. I don't think it's true. Okay? I think those are good things. But those are good things to put on the pieces of paper so it all looks good. I do not think those are what we're actually going by anymore. There's other things in the background. Maybe we'll get that tonight. Maybe we won't. Maybe it'll be on the next episode. But if you're living your own personal values, and those values are not those of the Navy core values, and they're not very good values, then where are you at? What are you doing? That's not a good place to be. Yeah, it's probably leading you to not be so great. Mind, social, develop healthy relationships, psychological, build toughness and resiliency, recognize warning signs, financial, manage money towards your goals. Oh my goodness. Like, how many times do I need to talk about manage money towards your goals? Fucking pay us enough money to manage where we're not struggling, where junior sailors aren't out there struggling. Stop lying about it. Nutrition, eat to better your health. How? Eat to, like, you have us on a shitty 21, and no matter how great your CSs are, it's still the same menu. You only get so many limited options. We're still doing burgers, and I love burgers. Don't get me wrong. I love the pizza on Friday or Saturday too. But, like, it is not the most nutritious fucking meal out there. The only way you, like, it is nutritious, and this is everything with the military, right? And I was just talking to Nikki about this, right? Military in whole, they're not out there doing anything to actually make you better. They're just trying to keep you from getting worse, right? Go to dental. If they could have gave me braces, they would have already. But why? Yeah, your teeth are fine. You just need a cleaning. They're not trying to make me better. They're just trying to make sure they don't fucking fall out while I'm at sea. Okay. Medical health stuff. Hey, yeah, no. You're just healthy enough, cleared for sea duty, right? Food. Yeah, and again, I'm in supply. I get it. You cannot have FFV all the time. It's going to go bad at some time, right? You have to have non-perishables for that 60-day, 45-day, 60-day endurance loading. I understand that, okay? But they're not feeding you. It says eat to better your health. Feed me to better my fucking health when I'm on the ship. How about that? They can't. It's not possible. It's possible in very limited amounts, right? Everything is frozen. Everything is processed. The only healthy thing you get out of it is if you cut your portion size down, so you're not eating more calories than you're putting out. Because why? Because so much of the Navy is what's that word? Sedentary, right? You're sitting around on your fucking ass for 8 hours a day, standing watch, or just literally standing watch, and you're not doing anything, right? You're not moving. You're not fucking, like, the most you get is like most movement you get is if you go to the gym and actually work out. And that's not enough, right? And that's a societal problem that has just trickled over. Okay. And with the, like, oh, yep, let me do my watch standing, and I'm in the chair and I'm just sitting there. Not me, but that's how watch standers do it. I don't stand watch. So I'm even worse, right? But they just stand there and they just click the, again, they call down on the radio. Hey, can you check up, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, come on, man. Come on. Eat better for your health. Shut the fuck up. Get sleep. Be fit. Come on, man. Get sleep. Get sleep. If you just caught the audio only episode that I dropped on all streaming platforms, I was at the fucking parking lot at 4:30, 2.5 hours before Libex. 4:35, something like that. Good 2 hours before Libex, just so I could get a fucking good parking spot. Get sleep. What time do you want me to go to bed here? You want me to go to bed at 8? Yeah, you do. You want me to go to bed at 8? I got home about 5, right? I wanted to spend time with my kids, so I helped them with their homework, and then they had already ate dinner, so then I ate dinner, and then I took a shower, and then, we got about maybe an hour to 30 minutes of some TV time and a little relaxation, and then it was bedtime, and then I woke up at 3 or 4 so I could go to the gym. Did someone say go to the gym? No one said that, because then I'm definitely waking up at 3 and going to the gym. Right? I got to drive the 30 minutes there. Then I got to get the hour workout. I better haul ass over to the ship. I'll just take a shower there. That's fine. I'm in the berthing anyways. And I'm still there at work a good hour to 2 hours before. How much time are you spending on the road at work everywhere else? 12, 14 hours? Just so you can get the 6 hours. If you went to bed at 8 o'clock p.m., 2000, and woke up at 4, you're still only getting 6 hours of fucking sleep. That is not the recommended, like, healthy fucking sleep. You get more sleep underway on deployment, probably, because they have circadian rhythm and they manage it like that. But if you're in port anywhere, on sea duty, shore duty, whatever, y'all should be getting enough sleep, okay? So really, it's like sleep when you're dead or sleep when you're on shore duty. Because if you're on sea duty, you're not getting any fucking sleep. Get out of here, man. You better grab your fucking nooner, right? You get an hour and a half lunch. You better grab a hour of nap and 30 minutes of lunch. It's stupid, man. Medical, dental, meet standards for duty. Exactly. Not get better. Just meet the standard. Yep. When Doc says go in there because you're a class 2 or class 3, make sure you get in there for the cleaning, for the checkup, so you could be class 1 so we could deploy you. This is just trash. Great leaders, accountable to your people. Character, set the standard, be transparent, own your mission, empower your people, master self-awareness and emotional intelligence. It's like they read so much psych books nowadays, right? It's crazy. Joe, if you're watching, let me know how you feel about that. Competence, deliver outcomes, self-assess, and self-correct. Okay. Manage risk, act on what matters most. Okay. Solve hard problems, fix or alleviate barriers. I like that. Not the solve hard problems, alleviate barriers. That's what we should be doing. We talked about it just the other day. I was helping out with some CDBs for my LSs there in Fort Worth, and one of the senior chiefs there that's what he said. He's there to alleviate barriers, and that's absolutely correct. That's what we should be doing. So that's cool. That's all right. But like the competence thing, I like it. The character thing is cool too. But what are we saying, man? It's just like it's not what are we saying, because it's not that it's wrong. It's just like, how many times do we need to say this over and over and over and over? I guess a bunch. We're probably at like Culture of Excellence fucking 10.0, right? Like fucking like it's iOS or fucking Android operating system. Like, then we'll get it right. Culture, take care of your people. I just talked about this the other night in the last episode or whatever about taking care, right? We shouldn't be taking care. We should be leading. Okay, build winning teams, connected and inclusive. Oh, there it is. Inclusive. Yeah, I'm going to include your ass on all these fucking working parties and watch bills. I hope you feel included, right? I was talking to my buddy there at work today as I was kind of checking out with him, right? Just kind of shooting shit, catching up, as I just mentioned earlier about trying to check out. And a whole lot of DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion coming out. We all know it, right? You might be a fan. If you are, good for you. Re-enlist. If you're not, might be your time to get out, right? And it's right there. It's all right there. It's all right there for you to see. They're not hiding it, right? Building winning teams, connected and inclusive. What the fuck does connected mean? What, like do you need to jump on the group chat every night and send memes to each other to be like, okay, yep, I'm connected with my sailors? Like, are we that out of touch? Do you think your sailors want to be that connected to you? Do you want your sailors to trust you, to be able to hit you up for things? Of course, yes. But you probably don't need to be that well connected and inclusive. Like I said, I got your inclusive. Everyone's included on the watch bill. Everyone is included on the fucking working party. Everyone's included when engineering needs help with wipers. I got your inclusive right there. Ensure a safe and healthy environment. Yeah, I'm all for that. Safe and healthy. Cool. Mission. So I got to wet the beak. I'm going to dry here. Value and respect everyone. Cool. Be brilliant on the basics. That's like such a catchy term that has turned so generic, right? And that we just throw it in on other shit now. Make sure I'm good here. Learning, achieve excellence. I'm saying, like, you can't tell someone how to achieve excellence, but just putting it up there saying, "Hey, you need to achieve excellence." By what grade of measurement? Like, just, I would like more of that, please. And maybe in the big book it does say it. But we're gonna finish this up and then maybe get going. We'll see. I hear the kids in there. Learning, establish trust, discuss success, failures, improve, whatever. Community, include families. Families do not want to be included. Maybe some do out there. Maybe it's your spouse that wants to be super involved in everything that the command is doing, right? But if you're, just as me and Brother B was talking about, if your spouse is busy working and taking care of the kids and taking care of everything at home as your schedule fucking changes all the time, they probably don't want to do shit with your command, right? Especially if you're like a person like me that comes home and kind of badmouths your command, right? Because you want to go home and you want to be able to do whatever your wife, your husband, your partner, what the fuck ever you want to call them, right? You want to be able to go home and like decompress and relieve that stress and not put it on them, but let them know what you're feeling so you could feel better. And all they're going to hear is the negative things of the shit work that you're doing day in and day out, right? Because who at work is hearing it, right? Especially depending on how bad it is. So do you think your spouse is going to be like, oh my God, yeah, I can't wait to join the fucking ombudsman group or the family reading? Oh yeah, I want to be all a part of that. And we've talked about this with some other people. Like that's why you get toxic fucking groups like that. Okay. End workplace hostility and toxicity. Eliminate harassing behaviors. Yes. Okay, let's get to these other parts here. Right. We'll do one or two of these. These are funny. Let me do this one. Because this is the CPO one, and it kind of... So this is like the vignettes. These are like, not roles, but like how things can happen and how culture of excellence working the right way will stop these things. Senior Lyons tilted his head back and just breathed in the salt air. Oh yeah, man, did he love this time of day underway. Most of the crew was still asleep. Buckley was slicing her way through his workout. His workout had really cleared his mind, and standing here, he was conducting another mental rehearsal. What mental rehearsals in bold here, right? Of the drill scheduled for later. He took one more deep breath, opened his eyes, and knew he was ready for the day. And chuckled while shaking his head. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Man, fuck this. That's what Senior was fucking saying. Y'all fucking got twisted. In only a few short months, his career and life had taken a turn for the better. The new CEO reported on board, and shortly thereafter, the triad was talking about Culture of Excellence 2.0. And that we're going to set the standard, display emotional intelligence, and build a winning team. When the CEO addressed the crew, you could see the triad were all in, had drunk the COE 2.0 Kool-Aid to the last drop. Yo, what is this shit? Like, no, what junior sailor wants to be looking at their triad and be thinking this that they fucking wrote down? Oh, yep. The triad's all in on this. Hey, they definitely drank the Kool-Aid on this shit. Here we go. So, all these next meetings are all going to be about fucking the culture of excellence. That's all we're going to hear at every fucking meeting and everything for the next fucking 6 months until it dies down and we're on deployment, or until we get out of the yards and we're getting our fucking ass hammered by every inspection team that's coming on board. Right? That's how it happens. That's how it happens. Senior kept his eyes locked forward, tuned him out. Tuned who out? And waited to hear dismissed. Oh, this is like a flashback. They should put a flashback in here. Gas Hauler 127 says, typical Navy propaganda. Yeah. Like, I say, like, you want to get better, then just tell motherfuckers, be real. This Kool-Aid drinking, this is not real. It's not getting real. And if it's not getting real, it's not going to get anyone better. Not saying that this won't work for some people or commands out there. I'm just saying. I could agree with Gas Hauler here. Like, it's like propaganda stuff. Senior kept his eyes locked forward, tuned him out, and waited to hear dismissed. So he could leave the fantail, get to the mast, listen to the CMC, and then get back to the real work of the day in his office. He was getting crushed, and his sailors were woefully behind. Wait one. Yes, sugar? All right. My baby girl had a question. She wants more snackies and she wants to party more. Okay. Yeah, so he's behind and the sailors were behind and they're not getting the job done. So there's work that needs to get done. So CMC walks into the mess, grabbed her darkened coffee mug. Gross, 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 gross. Wash your fucking coffee mugs. I talked about the supply department on Fort Worth about this, where that tradition came by, right? This is gross. Wash your fucking coffee mugs. Gas hauler says, when I served in the 90s, it was TQL. Tell me what TQL is there, gas hauler. If you served in the 90s, you're kind of old, gas hauler. Let me know. What's total? I was thinking TRL, Total Request Live, MTV. What's TQL? Total Quality of Life. Darkened coffee mug, filled it up and sat down with all the chiefs present. She began, okay, let's start with an easy one. Why do we have a sponsor coordinator? Glenn, the ETC, broke the silence. Because Big Navy tells us we have to have one. I'm funny, guys. Shut up, Glenn. CMC nodded. That's right. But why do we have one? That's the same fucking question. Why didn't you tell Glenn? Oh, TQL's Total Quality Leadership. Total Quality Leadership. Oh, man. Glenn, you'll have to drop a lot of comments to let me know what that entailed or what do you remember of that? What was the pushing agenda? I know what the agenda was to get better leaders. I understand that, but you get what I'm saying? Like what was being pushed out? Like as I'm reading here, what was the propaganda, right? That was being pushed out to get you to buy in. Whenever I hear buy in, I think fucking Ponzi schemes, pyramid schemes for TQL there. Let me know. Yeah, so in this back to this scenario right here, right? The CMC's like, yeah, but why? Because when you ask it like that in italics, right? When you speak in italics, it really gets people going, right? It really gets the answers. That's right. But why do we have one? Better answer would be, Glenn, shut the fuck up. I don't need smart ass answers. I need to know, why do we have one? What the fuck is their purpose? Right? If we want to get back to the placemat, right? Purpose. Why don't you, instead of saying, you got to give the sailors the why, why don't you give them the fucking purpose? Change the word and it means something different. What's the outcome we are trying to achieve? Shouldn't be trying to achieve it. You should be achieving it. Come on, watch some fucking Star Wars. Okay? The dam broke. Ooh, the dam broke. And the chief started saying stuff like, to make sure families are taken care of. Why? Like, are how many people out there have actually, not saying it hasn't happened, just a question, have actually picked up entire families, right? A few, you have some fucking great stories here and there, right? You have way more fucking non-great stories that overshadow it, okay? Ensure the move goes smoothly. Are you sure about that? You sure about that? Show them we want them on our team. They're already on your fucking team. They got orders there. All right, bub? It doesn't matter. Get it all lined up. The schools, NDOC, CDBs. No shit. Like that's not even, that's going to be happening afterwards. Their schools should be in their orders, right? If there's any other schools after they get there, then that's stuff that you're going to have to take care of when they get there. That should already be on your fucking tracker, on your, I'm losing the words, on your watch bill replacement plan. All right. CMC kept them going and was writing it down, and then she led them through how they were going to renovate it, sustain it, and improve it continuously. How do you improve something continuously? Right? How do you, if you look at something, all right, and you say, hey, these are the metrics that we're going to grade this by, okay, and when we're meeting all these metrics, then we know we're doing a good job. So if you've met all those metrics for the last 100 sailors checking in, how do you improve that? Question for the group. Let me know in the comments. Gas hauler says, I don't remember much about it, By the E6 and below, it was referred to as TWT, total waste of time. Yes, I love it. I love it. And in today's Navy, there, gas hauler, we say E6 and junior. You're below nobody. All right, you're a human too. All right. Thank you for that comment, though. That's funny. Total waste of time. And I think that's the same sentiment that a lot of these other programs get today, right? As much things change, things stay the same. And the junior sailor, this is what I don't get. The junior sailor doesn't want their time wasted. We have a previous sailor here, gas hauler 127, talking about in the 90s. So there's sailors nowadays not born then. I was a child then when this shipmate here was serving. I use shipmate, generously and with love and affection. Okay. They didn't want to waste their time then. What the fuck makes you think we want to waste our time now? But here we are, right? Culture of excellence. Let's talk about that. How many meetings are we going to have about it? How many times are CMCs going to be going in there talking to first classes and the mess and everyone else and blah, 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 blah. I'm not saying that it's not worth the time to be excellent. I'm saying you could build excellence a lot of different ways, and it doesn't take as much paperwork and printouts. Okay. She really represented the crew well. CMC met the first classes. The rest of the crew spoke to the XO and then facilitated a conversation alongside them as they walked through the plan with the wardroom. The CO took it, implemented it, and triad began to replicate the success in other areas. Warrior toughness, familiarization, human factor. What are human factors boards? Someone let me know in the comments if you know what human factors boards are. Please let me know. I'm really curious about that one as it's highlighted in bold here. Okay. Necessary conversations and really good training conversations on get real, get better. Back to that. Okay. But his temper was getting harder to control. He heard the whispers and the nicknames he was getting in and out of the division. Mr. Volcano. That reminds me of the dude from the Emotions. What's it called? The Joy movie with Joy. Fucking bing bong, bing bong, bing bong. I forget that movie. What is it? Damn it. Mr. Volcano, when the angry guy, his hair turns to fire. Mr. Volcano, Napalm, Gome, grumpy old man. They just didn't understand. He had to get the work done, and he was down 2 sailors, plus the emails from home. Yeah, those will get you. The bills were stacking up, and his wife might have to go back to the States for medical treatment. Yeah, that'll fucking get you. That'll get you in a real bad spot there. It all changed when BMC Yavorsky came and asked him to come down to the CMC's office. When they got there, BMC shut the door, and CMC started off with, "How are you? Really, how are you?" Because that is like the senior hesitated, and slowly it all came out. Because that's always the great opening salvo there, right? That makes you feel so comfortable and everything to let everyone know what's going on, right? Just a simple, "How are you really?" Well, sometimes the answer is, "No, I'm pretty fucked up. Yeah, I'm really fucking tired of being here." Yeah, and you let them have it, and then they just look at you and be like, "Oh, we know, but we really need you to keep working." What do you do then? What do you do then? Not saying it's ever happened. Just saying, that's also how it goes, okay? It's more likely to go like that than what we're going to finish reading here. All right? CMC and Boats didn't judge. You sure they didn't judge? You sure CMC didn't go to their favorite little chiefs and talk about, "Oh, man, seniors all fucked up. They got all this going on. They got that going on." You sure that didn't happen? A good CMC did it. There's some bitch asses out there, though. I'm just going to say it. They listened. Arranged for him to speak with the chaplain. Why? Maybe he don't want to speak to the chaplain. Maybe he's atheist. Maybe he doesn't believe in God. Maybe the only chaplain available wasn't his cup of tea. What good is going to be speaking to the chaplain then, right? The deployment resiliency counselor aboard the carrier. Oh, yeah, there you go. Because we have deployment resiliency counselors on every fucking ship out there, right? It's only on these carriers where you get these civilians on deployment with you that take care of all these other things to make sure that you're good. Well, what about that crew of 70 LCS ship that's out there fucking slugging it, trying to get through it? Where's their deployment fucking counselor? Right? Here we go. Rolling Tide 22. Thanks for joining. How are you really? Gas is $6 a gallon, and sailors have to sit in an hour of traffic every morning and fight for parking once they get on base at 5:15. Abso-fucking-lutely. Right? Abso-fucking-lutely. How am I really? Yeah. Not good. What are you going to do about it? What is me not being good going to fucking change? Like, Senior here, what was his name? Senior Little? Lions? He still got to get the fuck back to work. The shit's still going to get done. After this conversation, what do you think really happened? He went and got the fuck back to work, got back on watch, or went to sleep so he could get back on watch. And apparently they're on deployment, so he still had to do this for how many more months? Right? Oh, luckily, it's a carrier, so they have all the resources. What if he's not on a carrier? What the fuck does he have then? Right? Fleet and Family Support on board the carrier, and Fleet and Family Support Center when they got in port to help with the finances. What is Fleet and Family Support Center going to help me with finances? They're going to give me a budget and tell me I spend my money in the wrong places? Or they're going to give me a budget that says, no, you spend money in all the right places. It's $6 a gallon for your fucking gas. And yeah, you're spending $400 a month, $500 a month, whatever you're spending, right? Pick it. Okay. So you want to help me with my finances? Every chance I fucking get, I'm going to say it. Give the military a 25% raise. Okay. Senior asks, how'd you know? Simpsy smiled. I know. The CO caught it in the command climate assessment. Whoa. Hold on. I'm not a simio. I've never been to school. But how is the CO catching things in the command climate assessment? I thought, am I wrong? That's not the DOC survey, but isn't it like command climate? Isn't this supposed to be anonymous too or something? Right? So how are we catching things? How did the CO narrow it down that something put in the command climate assessment was Senior Chief Lyons? That's a question. That's kind of, and even if you do realize who it is based on demographics or whatever, aren't you not supposed to bring it up? Aren't you just supposed to fix things? So I don't know if you're a Simio or you have more knowledge or anything on that. Please let me know because I'm just curious. I'm curious because it goes back to here's this vignette that they're giving us to read for examples, right? And this just stands out to me like CMC smiled. The CO caught it in the command climate assessment that you're all fucked up having a hard time. Unless, of course, Senior Lions, we're supposed to assume that he put his name to this or she. I think it's he. Yeah, it's he. We knew this wasn't you and something was going on. There's going to be some accountability for your behavior, but we want to see you succeed and we'll be with you every step of the way. Whoa. Hold on. We got missing links to this story, okay? And I'm too invested now. What was his behavior? Isn't it? This is never covered in this little story here. What was wrong with his behavior? Okay. And in one hand, you're telling me we're going to get you all the help you need, but stand by because you're going to fucking be held accountable for the fuck ups you did. What? Handle one at a time or something. Or you could say it, but like, again, what is this behavior that all of a sudden is dropped in the story? Okay. But we want you to succeed and we'll be with you every step of the way. You sure? You sure about that? She really meant what she said. When they got back, he had to leave the ship for a couple weeks on TAD for all his appointments. But a member of the mess went with him for his temporary assignment. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. We're saying anyone could go read this. Any junior sailor, any senior sailor. It doesn't matter. There's petty officer situations. There's JO and XOCO situations too. We're saying that this Senior Chief Lyons messed up. He's going to be held accountable for situations. But he has so many appointments that he has to take care of. Is it related to his spouse, right? That he gets to go TAD for all his appointments? They didn't say a spouse appointment, because if it's a spouse, you get what are those HUMs, right? Humanitarian orders. Someone help me out on that, right? I know someone nearby that talked about their family was going through stuff, and they got that help where there wasn't TAD. It was like removed from the command to go spend time with the people they needed to make sure they were good and healthy and everything, right? So why are we sending chief or senior chief here TAD just so he could go to appointments? Can we not manage that? That's my legit, right? I'm not saying people don't deserve to get help, but are we making, it goes back to this, are we making this exception for everybody? Right? Are we sending every sailor that has appointments with this kind of situation or something TAD somewhere, and then we're sending a second person with them? Just a question. It's just a question. I'm just wondering if someone here in the chat could answer it for me. The CO had already reached out to his new chain of command and let them know the support he needed to get back into the fight with the XO, and CMC reaching out to him while he was gone to see if he needed anything. Yeah, cool. I was just TAD too. Once I went TAD, I didn't hear from anybody except when they needed me to come in and give training. Which, depending on who the person asked, I was more willing, and some of it wasn't. I had no option to do. They really breathed life into the warm handoff procedures. Milpers Man 1320 TAC 307. If you're not familiar with it, if you're having those troubles and issues and you're going to a new command, your CO and triad is supposed to contact that new command and let them know. They're supposed to give a warm handoff. Hey, the shit is still hot. It just left my butt, but it's yours now. Enjoy. That's what that is like. It was obvious to Senior, though, that he was important and they wanted him on their team, except they handed him off. The Navy changed the course of his life 17 years ago when he joined. Luckily, the people and the leaders in his team changed it for the better again, turning away from the open ocean. He saw BM3 George walk by and offered a wave in return of her contagious smile. Not a good... Oh, man. I'm surprised you've not seen more fucking memes and shit coming out on pages. It just shows you there's not a lot of people reading this stuff. Man, BM3 is going to crush it and will either be a CMC or CO someday. Is this what Senior Lions is thinking? With his own smile, he went inside the skin of the ship. He had warfighters to train. What is this shit? This is what... I left the homepage. This is what we're putting out there as examples of how the culture of excellence is going to work. Right? This, it's just not true. What sailors, any sailor, what is any sailor gonna be given TAD time to just, which I'm not saying they shouldn't be. I'm just looking at it realistically. All right, you're not given that time, right? And I don't know. It's just this shit is something else. Consume that culture of excellence there. We're gonna get into one more piece tonight, and then we're gonna hang it up. All right, here's a sad one. We're gonna end on a sad one. I ain't gonna lie. Rolling Tide said, who wrote these stories? I read them, and it reads like ChatGPT. I think even worse than ChatGPT. Yeah, I don't know. Rolling Tide. It's bad. It is not realistic at all, right? It just doesn't sound realistic. There's holes to it. I don't need a whole book of a story to say how it's going to work, but you could be like, it could be more pinpointed, and maybe in the other ones it is, but. Here's a sad story coming out of Florida. Police who shot Florida airman 6 times in his home may have entered wrong apartment, family says. I saw this online somewhere else too. I just pulled it up. This is on military.com here. I saw the actual video footage. An attorney for the family of a Florida Special Operations airman was shot and killed in his home by local police. I thought that was a child. It's just a dog child. Senior Airman Roger Fortson 23, who was assigned to the 4th Special Operations Squadron in Hobart Field, was alone in his apartment May 3rd when the police burst through the door and fatally shot him 6 times, according to Ben Crump, an attorney representing Fortune's family. So, again, I saw the footage, and with any kind of fucking, any attorney or any clickbaity anything, they're gonna say it like this. The police did not burst in, like, he didn't kick the door down. He fucking knocked like a Fed, right? You watch the footage of it. He has like the body cam footage, and he's knocking. I think there's 2 different camera angles, or no, just the one. It's just the one police knocking like a fucking, like, bangs on the door like a fucking Fed, and then it's an apartment complex, and then he backs down the hall, right? And there's no corner there. He just backs down the hall, right? So if the door's here, right? If the door was like here, where's my hand? Like here, where I'm at, he backed away from it, right? So when you're looking at, and there's like a little bit, I think there's a little bit of like an entrance area where the door's like set in like 18 inches. So all you got to do is back down like 3 or 4 feet behind that entrance area. And if you're peeping through the hole, you can't see who's fucking knocking. And all he's saying is like, he's announcing himself. He's like, sheriff, right? And then he walks up again and fucking bang, 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 right? So the Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office was responding to a disturbance between a man and woman in the apartment building, and the deputies shot Fortson, who was black, multiple times in the chest, according to the police radio communications. Yep. The circumstances surrounding Rogers' death raised serious questions that demand immediate answers from authorities, especially considering the alarming witness statement that the police entered the wrong apartment. The narrative released by law enforcement is falsely suggests Roger posed a threat is deeply troubling and inconsistent with the details provided by that witness. Roger was at home alone, causing no disturbance when his life was tragically cut short by law enforcement. I'll do y'all one. I'll try to find it. Because it's one of those things like everyone will say, well, you know, you're not a cop. You don't fucking know how the little bit of response time that they have, and they'll tell you all that stuff, right? Here it is. This is fair use, people. We're doing the news here, all right?
Sheriff's office, open the door!
Oh, I gotta this.
Sheriff's office, open the door!
And that's where it stops. So you can see him. He's like, oh, it's not 18 inches. It's just like a little door jam. So maybe like 6-8 inches. Right. So that was like the second time he came in, right? Yeah. This shit's crazy. He moves over. Oh, hold on.
Sheriff's office, open the door!
Tripping.
Step out. Drop the gun! Drop the gun!
Oh, there it is. So they don't, they show, they do a.
Step out.
So right there, he's got the door open. He's at the doorway. The cop is there. On the next, like, as the frame rolls forward a little bit, you can see he's got his gun down to the side. Right? And like, you can clearly see, yeah, he got a gun. But he's just, oh, man, like, I think it's a bad shoot anyways. But, like, this dude just pulls out and dumps into him.
Drop the gun! Drop the gun! He's over there. Drop the gun! 312, shots fired. Suspect down. Do not move.
And what they're saying is, this is...
Sheriff's office, open the door! Step out.
I like, you know, AP fucking Associated Press, like, highlighting, yo, he had a gun. I don't give a fuck, man. I could answer my fucking door with the gun if I want. You can't breathe because he got shot in the fucking chest like 4 or 5 times, 6 times. Yeah. This is sad. I don't think it was self-defense. I don't. Right? Like you bang. This is something I've talked about before, with friends mostly. Right? Is like, when you're living in some places, Arizona, Florida, Texas, and maybe they can hear you. Maybe you think you're announcing yourself loud enough. Maybe they can't. But there's got to be some level of expectation. There's some shots like this that happen in
Marks
Arizona.
1 week since an Air Force service member from the Atlanta.
That when you're banging on people's door like that, that maybe they can't hear you, and they might answer the door with a fucking gun. I got the dog going crazy. Hey, is he okay? Yeah. I don't know, man. People knocking at your door like that, you might fucking answer it with the fucking gun too. You know, I fuck that. Oh man, it's sad for the family. That's where I'm gonna leave it at. It's sad for the family. We're gonna leave it on a sad one tonight. It's sad. Like this young airman, this service member here, serving their country, in Florida. I'm probably more than likely owning that gun legally, right? As they are a service member, right? And as Florida very well known for guns, right? To lose their life like that in their apartment, just opening the door and not knowing what was going on because allegedly here that they went to the fucking the sheriff went to the wrong fucking apartment, right? Because and what that didn't show was there's another video where it shows like there's a lady that called the sheriff, the cops, to investigate a like what sounded like a spousal abuse or something domestic case, and they walked him like partly to the apartment. I guess they were supposed to be hearing it from, and somehow the sheriff still went to the wrong apartment. I don't know, but hey, if you're out there, it's kind of like it doesn't matter if you're military or not. Just be safe out there. Be safe out there. Absolutely within his right to answer the fucking door with the gun. It's just crazy that it happened that way. So if you're praying type, pray for his family because that sucks. It's a sad one we're gonna depart on tonight, but it's all right. It's all right. It happens sometimes. Thanks for everyone tuning in tonight, leaving the comments. For the first-time viewers, appreciate you all here tonight. Don't forget to go ahead and leave a like and a subscribe right now. Turn on the bells for the notifications so you can catch us live. We're about live every other week, and putting out those vlog videos from underway. We've got a good handful of those that we're dropping regularly. Content I'm hoping picks up, not because of a good situation, but when I do PCS over to Texas and I'm living by myself, probably be doing more streaming, probably just like fun stuff and things like this, maybe streaming while I play video games and chop it up. So we'll be doing all that. What else? I think that's it, y'all. I got nothing else. No, that's it. Let's hit the music. There it is. All right. And don't forget, for more information how you can support the Cotton Podcast, please visit anchor.fm/Bravo Zulu Podcast. We're everywhere on Spotify. We're on iTunes. We're on Google. We're on Amazon. We're anywhere you want to stream this podcast. It'll be uploaded here shortly over the weekend. Like, yeah, we're there. But these views are mine alone. Joshua Moore and solely of myself and the individuals involved and the guests. And do not represent, or I'm sorry, I'm going to get messed up here. Do not necessarily represent the DOD, DON, or those of the respected institutions or organizations because we don't want them knocking at our door. Right? Am I right? Yeah, I'm right. All right, hey, thanks everyone for joining. Don't forget, leave a like, leave a subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.